Hey, I'm Pascal from Orangepixel, and this is the second time I'm recording this little part before the intro. The first time I had two issues. One, the battery of the camera was almost done and empty. I actually managed to record everything before it died out, but just started editing this video and I noticed that the lens, the camera, was eerily focusing on those guys. I'm not sure why. It didn't notice me as a human. It somehow thought these clay figurines, vinyl figurines, were more interesting than me. And perhaps the camera was right. I don't know. Anyway, this week's video is going to be fun. Did a bunch of cool visual stuff that's always great to show on video, obviously. So we're going to talk about that after the intro. I just hope I've been in focus all this time. The rest of the video should be great. Intro. So the cool thing I've been adding this week is the ability screen cutscene type animation. My main characters all have a special ability. I've talked about this before. That ability can be activated at some point, a couple of times per game or per session. And activating it should really go with some oomph, you know, some extra juice. And I've been working on a great screen for that. For now, this is the design. I usually work on something like this, create it, and I'm very amazed with it, and I'm very proud of myself for creating something that awesome. And then I end my day, sleep on it, and the next day I check if it was really that awesome or if I was just into it while working on it. If it holds up for the next day, I'll keep it in the game. If it doesn't, I'll tweak it a little bit. Usually I tweak it a little bit. And we'll now see if it actually makes the final cut for the released version. For now, I think it's really looking pretty cool. Besides doing that screen, I also worked on some of the abilities. I already showed you the Fury Fist, but we're gonna show you that one first, because that way you can see this little cool new screen alongside the Fury Fist. I now also use the new cool artwork as the title screen of the game. It's downsized, resized a little bit, but I think it holds up in this resolution. For now, it looks pretty cool as an opening screen, so we'll keep it like that. Let's quickly dive into the game. I'm also renaming the characters. I'll get to that in a minute because we're having a fun little contest-like thing on Discord about these names for these characters. For now, let's go with this one who has the Fury Fist. Let's dive into a map quickly into this one. Alright, I'll just get rid of everything on screen first so that we can actually quietly talk about this and not be bothered by these enemies. So I'm gonna activate the power. Hang on, here we go. So there's that little screen where you see the character, big screen, screen filling, a little quote. That quote isn't final yet. A little quote, some action. Still working on the sound effects, and then this effect starts, or whatever their ability is. In this case, it's a big stomping fists that pretty much smash everything that's on the screen. And it will be like a little catchphrase, something like stomping time or fists of fury or whatever. That's pretty much it. And while I'm in the game, let me show you the new skills that I've been working on, the new abilities. I'll start with Samuel. He has the morphing ability as mentioned here. Originally I thought this was gonna be somewhat of a, well, I wouldn't say lame, but less interesting ability. But I was wrong. If you're playing with this ability indoors, let me go indoors. Quickly clear the streets. Alright, we're going indoor. Morphing time. We will now look like the enemies. Which means we don't have weapons. That's the trade-off. You lose your weapons or ability to shoot, but you don't have to shoot. You can now literally just walk alongside these enemies, sneak up on them, they won't attack you, and you can maybe grab them from behind and take them down. And it's actually a pretty cool way to play the game. The morphing This ability will have a certain duration. Right now it's unlimited, but it will have a certain bar on the screen, or maybe this blue bar, which is the ability bar. It will slightly lower as long as you have this ability on. So there is a limit to how much you can use it. But it is pretty cool to be able to walk around and take down enemies without having to shoot them. It surprised me that this actually worked so well. Let me just show you again how the morphing ability happens. And you'll be morphed, your whole squad will be morphed into the enemies, well, looking like the enemy. Which brings me to the third ability I implemented. These two have no abilities yet. This is some sort of, well, it says animal control, but it will be psychokinetic type stuff. So maybe you can move furniture, or maybe you can move enemies or creatures. I haven't exactly sorted out what it is that she does, but it's something like that. And for this guy, we haven't figured out anything at all. Maybe I'll do a contest for that one on the Discord. I'm guessing it will be something with like weapons or indestructible stuff like that. Not sure yet, but this one has a cool power. Let's dive into the game with her, and let's find a nice spot with a lot of enemies. This will do. Here we go. Power on. This will pretty much wipe out everything around you. Very destructive. Same with the fists. Those are very destructive around you type of abilities. The morphing is more tactical. The psychokinetic type thing that she's gonna get will also be more tactical. And that last one, we'll have to figure out what he's gonna do. But I'm honestly very happy with how this all works out and functions. And let's just use my ability one more time. Destroying everything around us, including all the furniture and stuff. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep that in, or there should be a lot more debris, but yeah, we got a processor time to keep in mind. We can't just destroy everything and have it all laying around, so I have to figure out what to do with all that, because this pretty much emptied out this whole place. So those are the special abilities that are now in the game. Like I said, I'm very happy with this screen. It gives a lot of extra. I'm not really happy with the sound effects just yet, but for me, I'm not the sound engineer, so I pretty much have to search for the sound effects in the libraries I have and hope there's something there that fits that transition type thing. But of course, I don't have sound effects that are called that. I think right now I'm using some sort of a warp up sound effects. It gets close to what I want, but it's not really what I really want. There has to be something better on my hard drive somewhere. I'll find it. For now, this is it. Looking pretty cool. That leaves me with two more special abilities to be added. One, I have some sort of idea what I want with it, like moving furniture or controlling other enemy humans, or maybe even the rats and things like that. Something like that. The final one, well, it's the big guy, he looks like he's a tank, so maybe he'll turn into a tank or something, I don't know, or some sort of powerhouse thing. If you have an idea for that ability, drop them in the comments below, or hop on the Discord and talk about it, because we're talking about stuff. Let me show you on the Discord. So over on Discord, I started a new contest type of thing. We're going to talk about characters' names. This is the first one. Pretty much the statistics for him, his ability, a little animation showing him moving in the game, and people can now drop their name ideas. And we have a bunch of people participating. I'm just going to go through the whole list, and we're now currently in a discussion at the bottom somewhere as we're narrowing down, and we're close on something. We're now at chameleon, ghost, something along those lines. It's just a fun conversation. Everybody can participate, everybody can join in. At first it was just the people who get picked, or whose name get picked, or the catchphrase type thing, but I think everybody that participates will get their name in the credits for this game. Usually you don't get to certain name or decisions just giving one idea. It's usually a mix and a combination of ideas and discussion. So everybody that joins in on the discussion for these character names will find their name in the credits, unless it's just stupid addition to this whole thread. But every serious person hopping onto this channel and onto this discussion will find their name in the credits. And this is just character 1. There are 5 main characters, so I will be running more of these. It will depend on how fast we get to a certain name, on how long these threads will stay alive. I think this one will be closed by the time you're watching this video. We're really narrowing down on something already. But there will be other characters up and running, and there are also a bunch of gang names that we need to come up with, because there's a lot of gangs in the city and I don't really have any names for them. So there will be more participation stuff happening on the Discord channel. So Discord channel, this Discord. Which brings me to the next part of this video, the city map. Talked about it a few weeks ago, how I finally figured out how to mix this whole city building type stuff with the whole action game stuff. I know it's gonna be a weird blend and it's gonna be very hard to find the right audience for it. It's pretty much an action game. The city building part of it is very light, not a huge amount of statistics, or at least I don't want to do all that because I don't like that in a game. Sorry, not my type of game. There will be some city building, and it's pretty much comparable to how buffs are in Dungeons and Dragons or roguelikes. Placing certain buildings will change the way your missions go, and how much ammo will there be dropped, how strong are the gangs in the city, or how weak are the gangs, how strong are you, how much special ability do you get. It will depend on which type of building you place in and around the city. Extra ammo drops will happen if you place an industrial building, or extra health for all the enemies. They will be stronger and harder to kill. Those are the very simple things, but we will need to do more. I can imagine if we're gonna place a factory in the city, that suddenly we unlock a new type of weapon. So then you'll end up playing missions and find new type of weapons that you can use against the bad guys, but the bad guys will also have these weapons. So things like that is still something I'm sorting out. It's just pretty much writing down a huge amount of ideas and then linking that to buildings, and I think that will actually make it all work, hopefully. For now, here's what we got right now. So this is the city map as we have it now. As mentioned a few weeks ago, everything that isn't really used is grayscale. So grayscale buildings, everything that is used is colored, and red flags mark missions for gangs. This one is always your own headquarters. It doesn't really have any function just yet, but we'll make it have some sort of function. I can imagine you'll need to upgrade your abilities somewhere and things like that. So that's that. I changed this thing in the top left. This had a value, the money you had as a value, but it just felt very unpersonal having a money value there. So we now have a bar that has to be filled up. You still fill it up with money that you make from missions. Every mission gives you a certain amount of money. Pickups that you can find in a building, like gold coins, stacks of gold, briefcases full of money, things like that will all add to your total, to this bar. And of course, killing enemies will also give you extra money. And I can imagine that tougher gangs will bring in more cash, things like that. Certain missions will bring in more cash. You'll all have to do, so you'll have to do some balancing on picking the right missions to fill up that bar as soon as possible, because then you get to pick a new building, which will look a little like this. This would be a completed mission screen. So we just completed a mission, then we rescued somebody, which was worth 30k. We didn't collect anything, we didn't kill anybody. So that's not a lot of extra money, and the bar is slowly filling up. And when that bar is full, we get to pick a new building. Let me just quickly fill this bar by cheating a little bit. One more time and one more. And now we get to choose a new building because our bar is full. There has to be some extra oomph again, or some extra game juice here, showing you that well done, you're gonna be unlocking a new building. And then you get to this screen. You get 3 random buildings based on the value that you are in the level. That's just a progression thing. Parks are very cheap. Industrial is very cheap, and these apartments are extremely cheap because there's a hole in the roof. Eventually you'll get hospitals, banks, luxurious apartments like big tall skyscrapers, airports, you name it, we got it. You're going to be able to unlock one of these things, so you have to pick which one is going to be the best, the most beneficial for your game. Right now this is just failing because it's all the same, but you'll have to just pick depending on the changes or the modifiers that the building will bring to your city. Let's just place an industrial. This is also now improved. It will only allow you to place where nothing was built. Originally you could just place it anywhere and just rebuild something, but we're gonna have such a huge map. I don't think we have to rebuild stuff. We can just place it on new empty squares. And there's a lot of squares. You can place it anywhere you want, but I think it would be smarter to just place it near your base. Although maybe I can come up with some ideas on why you would actually place it somewhere in a different type of corner of the city. Maybe there's some gameplay elements there to be figured out. But for now, let's place the building. And a new block grows out of thin air. We have new missions in this area. We still have a couple of missions here. And we're slowly building out Regulator City. I'm really happy with where the game is heading right now. Last week I talked about this whole quest for finding a publisher and the talks and the no's I got mostly from publishers that, yeah, we love your game, would love to play it, but it's not something we're gonna be able to publish for you right now, or it doesn't fit right now, or whatever. Those have been terrible to hear, but I'm now at a very good spot with this game. I'm also getting all these no's and grabbing all these no's and just using them as I don't know, to get pissed at it and just, I'm gonna prove you wrong kind of mentality. So I'm really going for this game. I really love it. There is one part of the game that I don't really like, or isn't where I want it to be level wise, and that is actually the indoor level. There's something missing there. I'm not sure what it is. Pretty much everything I wanted to build into the game, this sneaking around, this squad, this team, that's all there, but there's something missing. Part of that I think is level design, so I've been tinkering a little bit with the flow of certain levels. The levels that are in the game right now are just very quickly done by me. Create a corridor, create a room, create another door, another room, another door, done. Throw in some stuff to test out if it all works. And I haven't really changed them or built them for a good gameplay flow. So that's what I'm focusing on now, because perhaps the problems I have with the indoor areas is just the fact that the levels are crappy and simple test cases and not so much actual levels. So let's first try out and see if we can get some game flow going in that, better design, and figure out if there's really something missing there, or if it was just design wise a problem. Maybe, I don't know yet, but it's not there just yet. I love where the city map is going. I think this adds a lot of value to the game. It makes sense for the game, and the street view is also amazing. It works out very well. I still have that sewer area I want to implement, and we have an extra, like a big meteorite that crashed into the street and aliens coming out of it, because that's part of your special abilities. So all that stuff still has to be programmed. But the street view is pretty cool already. It's just the indoor areas are missing something. That special X Factor type thing. But I'm gonna figure it out. I'm not sure yet how, but I will figure it out before we go live with this game. That's still a couple of months away. I'm working towards a demo in June for the Steam Next Fest. So that's the main thing. And I think I have more than enough to make this into an interesting demo and to show people what the game is going to be about. I just need to find that little X Factor spark, that little extra that's needed for the indoor missions to really make you want to go into a next mission and complete it before you get back to the city map. And that's it for this week's video, because I have to start working on fixing those indoor missions. But thanks for watching this video, watching last week's video, and I hope you'll be watching next week's video. If not, or if you do, even if you do or not, doesn't matter. Drop on the Discord and come talk about the character names for Regulator City. Still a bunch of characters that need naming, and also we need an ability for the big guy. He doesn't have a special power yet, so if you have good ideas, either drop them on the comments or drop by on the Discord. And hopefully I'll see you there. If not, see you next week on next week's video, and thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, all that stuff. Bye.